Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Patrick.
Well done, though. Just send the number. So,
Yes, I understand. But what I wanted to tell you,
y-
even Tramosi, that my dad had not a baby since morning. Can you hear me?
yes, yes.
I'm not a baby child since morning. So I've been on call with my mom, trying to find out what is holding him.
Okay.
Because I'm an old man.
Mm.
So what we'll do, I'll join.
Yeah, you join in.
I will. Yes, I can join in,
Mm.
but let it be a little bit snappy so that we'll be able to follow up on what is happening
No
with my
problem.
dad.
No problem.
Uh,
No problem.
Questions recorded snappy because we do
No problem. No
so my
problem.
mom just come now and no be agwana
Uh,
before my dad.
no problem. No
Because he's
problem.
an old man and all I got church in Aba from village
Ewo. Okay.
since morning.
No
All
problem. No
right,
problem.
let me just join.
Thank
Let
you.
me join the program.
Okay.
All right.
Eh, hmm? Uh, uh, hmm? Kuchere me. Okay. Okay. Let's wait for some people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just give me a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you can hear me. Let me just. I hope you guys can hear me. Um, just give me 1 minute. Let me just do some just little typing. Then, because this is a one-man band, but it's gonna be a good one today. It's 1127. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well, well, and well. Okay. Um, Good, good, good. So today's topic. So I'm just speaking to the. I'm Ethiopia. Okay. Um. So let me just get myself ready. Yeah. So today's topic is going to be an interesting one. Before the barrister comes in, as you can see from the thumbnail, we want to have a little discussion regarding the the whole procedure regarding Nnamdi Kanu. But before then, let me just say this: this channel is not an Igbo channel. We are not obsessed with Nnamdi Kanu, but I found a lawyer who is willing to give us some. Oh yeah, who is willing to, opine regarding what just happened. So that's what. So he's on his way now. When he comes in, I will let you know. So he's. I think. Let me see. Okay, waiting for you to add me. No, 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 no. So let's. Okay, let me get the solicitor. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry. Um, 1 minute. 1 minute, please. 4, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. My apologies. The whole thing, this is a one-man band, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Let me start by saying there are two camps regarding Nnamdi Kanu's, judgment. Some people liked it, some didn't like it. So let's go straight to the point. Hello. Yeah, hold on. Let me. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear you clearly.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Um,
All right, good.
Good day. Thank you very much for coming. So, House, I've got
Yeah.
the senior barrister himself, who will break some things down, and then we will continue. So, first of all, if I hope you can hear him very well, or clearly. Um,
Yes, I can clearly.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, let me ask you a very simple question. First of all, you've been in this business for like 20 years. You know what you're doing, because you can't be in a trade that you don't know what you're doing. So, but can you just give us a little scope regarding this case, so that the people watching us will then know what exactly went on and how it ended? Then we'll continue from there.
Okay. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Mr. Patrick. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited to be here to join you live for the first time on TAP TV. Yes, you're right. I've been in the business of litigation and legal practice generally for 15 to 20 years now. Um, the issue of Kanu, and Nnamdi, Mazen Kanu, is an issue that so many people are talking about in Nigeria, considering how it's a high-profile case and how sensitive it is, particularly for we Igbos. I understand their emotions. I understand the sentiments that surround this matter. But the truth is this: the law does not look at the emotions. Lawyers are not also swayed by sentiments. I will set aside the sentiments because I'm also emotional about it, being an Igbo man. But I will try as much as possible to set aside sentiments and talk a little I know about law regarding this matter. Was arraigned before the courts on charges of terrorism. And we have an enabling law that frowns on terrorism. It's a very serious crime. Terrorism, treason, and all that. In fact, the matter before the Federal High Court, hearing the giving judgment, there are 7 to 8 count charges against Kanu. And he was arraigned on those count charges. Those count charges are premised on known law, existing law that is still in force. I have to, emphasize on it. Those laws that they arraigned him, they filed against him, are still in force.
Okay.
So
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Sorry. So why is he saying that those laws that there is no legal whatever to charge him on laws that does not exist? So was he missing the point, or what? Okay, can you just throw some light there, please?
To be honest with you, he was missing the point. As much as I know about that act, Terrorism Preventive Amendment Act, is an act enacted by the National Assembly in 2013. His argument, although based on his legal advice, his argument is predicated on their legal advice given to him. That law, time they arraigned him, that law has been repealed. And the position of law is clear, and I agree with him that if a law has been repealed, it ceases to take any effect. It ceases to be in oppression, so that the court does not have the jurisdiction to try him on laws that have ceased to in oppression. Okay. As a result of that, yes, as a result of the repeal, done in 2022, it was repealed in 2022. So that is his argument. But this is the reason why his argument does not hold water, with all due respect to his lawyers. The charges or the count charges, against him stems from the fact that he committed all those offenses before 2022, when the law was repealed. Okay. So the time he committed those offenses, he committed those offenses between 2018 to 2022. So as at that time, the law is still in existence, is still in operation, is still in force. As far as the law is concerned, the court is concerned, the law is still in force. And he was even arraigned before 2022. So the position of law is very clear, that the law is still in force. It's still in force, it's still in oppression. You cannot just come that this law has been repealed and is no longer in. If you read, I think I sent a copy of that judgment. Read that judgment, even as a layman, you will see there's places where the court cited the position of law regarding whether the law has been repealed, and even when it is repealed, that the repealed law of 2022, they have a clause, they call it a saving clause, that says that even as it is repealed, so far that there is a proceeding before they repeal that law, that proceeding will not cease or be stopped. So there is a clause in that law that says that irrespective of the time, irrespective of the time that has been repealed, that is still in force regarding as far as that the matter has commenced before the law was repealed. So it is very clear. I don't want us to start playing this ethnic card, saying, yes, Igbos are marginalized. I agree with them. What Kanu is fighting for is a good cause. I support him. He's a man I love so much. But strictly sense, if you want to talk about law, the law is very clear that that law, upon which he was arraigned or charged to court, is still in operation as the time he was charged to court. And unfortunately for him, he could not also enter defense. He could not file any defense. He could not challenge the evidence adduced by the prosecution. So just like I told you before this interview, that was a suicidal, in fact, that was what we call legal suicide. He shot himself in the leg, but I don't want to dwell on that. I'm only looking at the way forward for him because he's fighting a good cause. And irrespective of the fact that I don't agree with him the way he goes about, I think there's nothing wrong to fight for the cause of their people, fight for the emancipation of the people, especially when it is glaring that there is a marginalization of the Igbos. But what the Igbos are facing an existential threat. So when a man, against all odds, offered his life to fight for this cause, and the civic constitutional, it's not as if, but the way he went about it, that was where he had this problem.
Okay. And, let me come in there. Let me come in there. I know you guys, your legal field. So do you think his legal team, is it that they were misinformed, or because you could see that they are quite knowledgeable, or is it that were they trying to play games? Because what's his name again? He's a former lawyer, I've forgotten his name now. That was, presiding his case before handing it over to these guys, was saying that his current legal team were amateurs.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
do you support that notion?
No, I won't start insulting my colleagues. I won't use this platform to insult any lawyer. Irrespective of his, irrespective of the fact that, okay, you can say that he misled Dennis Kanu. If you look at the legal team of Kanu before he disengaged them,
yes,
you know that he was able to recruit one of the best minds, as in legal minds we have in the profession. Somebody like Onyechi, Ibazu, somebody like Kanu Agabi, somebody like Mike Ezokome, somebody like Etiaba. These are SANs, not just SANs. People who has paid their price, who are high-profile lawyers, who has won criminal cases, both criminal cases and civil cases, and even electoral matters. So he was able to recruit the best brands. But unfortunately, he also was misled. I think was misled by some of the lawyers who he considered to be IPOB apologists. I won't mention them. We know them. They are all over the social media. Yes, he was misled by those guys. And look at where he landed. He landed him. And I don't know what happened to him. Even because I consider him as a very brilliant man. If there is no way you can convince even a layman that Kanu Agabi does not know what he's doing, or he doesn't know the law. Somebody who had one time Attorney General of the Federation, you cannot convince anyone that Ibazu does not know the law. These guys they are paid their dues. So that was where he missed it. Because if they were there and they filed their statement of defense and come with their evidence, tender their own evidence, that the prosecution evidence wouldn't have flied that they admitted without being, challenged. And the position of law is very clear. If a prosecution opens its case and closes its case, the two options left for the defendant is to challenge, is to file for defense, enter his defense, by filing for statement of defense, and also accompany with his own evidence, tender his document, both documentary evidence or any kind of evidence that can come up with. That will help to challenge whatever thing the prosecution is presenting. And if you have the best brain on your side as your legal team, you don't have to go about all these things in court. It shouldn't have. I can bet you that this life sentence, it shouldn't have resulted to life sentence. Yes, his case was very bad, but at the same time, it shouldn't have been life sentence. It could have been something lesser than that. If he maintained the legal team, and if the legal team challenged, if he allowed them to challenge those evidence and the count charges. But he was going back and forth after reading the judgment. I now said, what could have happened to Kanu? Is it as a result of I don't want to be judgmental, because I almost I felt like, this guy is just very stubborn, or something. Because it's not just ill advice. I don't want to believe that he was misled. This is a brilliant man that could have known the direction the case will go, even though he's not a lawyer, if he drops his legal team. So the essence of recruiting this legal team, this high-profile lawyer, if you don't understand that this is a case that will put him into this mess, Do you understand?
Yes, we're getting you.
So why is it that at this point where when he needed them most, he decided to just allow to be misled by some of the legal teams, very probably that are closer to him. I don't want to mention them. They are all over the social media. Telling him that, you can come up with the excuse that the court does not have jurisdiction on the grounds that the court cannot over a matter that the charges are premised on laws that are not in existence.
Yes.
Or have ceased to exist. All those things, even a layman should have told that part. Even if it is what he wants to use as a ground to challenge the court, to challenge the jurisdiction of the court, would have still allowed the lawyers to do that work for him. Because he knows that those lawyers knows the law more than him and knows how the judiciary and the court operates than him. That is the essence of recruiting the lawyers in the first place. So I will blame him. I won't blame the lawyers that misled him.
No, but the okay, let me come in here. Yep. The because I was thinking, I think it was a brilliant move when he said when he named all those witnesses,
Exactly.
Wiki and Co. Not Wiki and Co. Because I'm not a lawyer, but just bear with me now. If he had called those witnesses, question them under oath, first of all, do some damage on them, expose them if there is anything to expose, and then after the discussion, he will say, okay, on this, and this, I do not regard these, these, what do you call this law? Regard a law does not exist, but or again, he could have allowed the senior guys to debate, expose these guys, than instead of claiming there's no law. Because when he said there's no law, I wasn't getting it, and but now you're throwing some light in all this, because I think he shot himself. But again, for the Igbos or the Yoruba, we know Nnamdi Kanu is a bit arrogant. Don't crucify me. If you see the way he behaves, and especially in court, whereby he was sort of, because the way he appeared is like he was insulting the temple, put it that way. What do you think?
Exactly. The worst you can do as a litigant, as someone who is facing such charges in court, if you have any business in court as a layman, brings you to court, even if you don't have, you just want to visit the court, the worst you can do is to come to the court to insult the job. In fact, it's even more devastating if you are now the one facing all those charges. I thought these we are talking about are not just mild criminal cases like theft. These are charges that you know that can even your life. So the judge was even lenient because the law is very clear on the penalty that comes from terrorism. If you are convicted, if you are tried and convicted for terrorism, your life can be terminated, capital punishment. You can be sentenced to death. So he knows the gravity and the weight of the offenses against him. And he shot himself in the leg. And that is quite unfortunate. He didn't even stop at just dropping his lawyers, who are high-profile lawyers. He started insulting the judge. These are things that even in the appellate courts, since he has gone to the court, these are the things that the judges will consider.
You see?
And every judge finds it very offensive, very, very offensive when you insult him, because at that particular moment, he will not engage you. He will not, exchange words with you. But he knows where he will slam you.
Yes.
So that's the worst thing he did in his matter. Not only that he dropped his lawyers, he went ahead, started insulting and this is one of the things that also people who doesn't support this movement, separatist movement, have against him. That is insulting. That he's insulting everybody. He doesn't have respect for it. He doesn't. And these are the things, even personally, that is the area that I fell out with him. I don't agree with him on that, with that style of insulting everybody. What he did in court was very, very wrong, condemnable. But I'm not here to crucify him.
Yeah.
I'm only looking at way forward for him.
Yes.
Way forward for him.
Let me ask you a question. Now, when the judge was reading his judgment,
yes,
he made mention of there's this Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition to Nigeria.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
So what's your take on that? Why? Because normally in a civilized society, that case should not be in court because of the way he was brought in. What's your position?
If you read the judgment, you will also see where the judge cited, although it's an American case.
Yes.
We use cases as a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
That is what lawyers do. That is what judges do. He cited the American cases where even if you adopt an accused who is facing a trial, you are adopting from another country, in any way you decide to bring him out, it does not vitiate the proceedings. And it does not also deprive the court of its jurisdiction to continue the trial. And he cited the cases, to support his grounds. I won't say it's not the position of law, but I'm also looking at the cases that the judge cited. Because we rely on cases, case law, we call it case law, or you can call it authorities. Authorities are past judgment of the court that dealt with a similar case.
Yes.
What the position they took in that case, what they arrived at. So that is what we do as lawyers. We look at the precedents, we look at the case law, and you can see clearly that each position the court took, he cited the cases to support his position.
Yeah, let me come in there. Now, sorry for interjecting. Now, he my concern is in a normal society, like say for example, Britain will not point out a law in Nigeria in their courts. To set I'm not a lawyer. Precedent, isn't it? So the judge was mentioning a case in America, but this crime was against Nigeria. So if now I'll call it crime in quotes, but if is it not demeaning to go and refer other countries, pick up other countries, cases to apply on this matter? Because normally in regarding extra rendition, they said according to law or not according to the legal minds that it was done illegally, and with that case should not appear in court. So the Kanu should not appear in court regarding that case because they brought him illegally. They could have done was take him back to Kenya and then do the proper legwork to bring him to Nigeria legally. That's what people are saying.
Yes, one of the prayers of Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, was for the court to stroke out the case or the offensive, against him on the ground that they committed, the prosecution and the states committed what they call extraordinary rendition. What it simply means that he was adopted, he was kidnapped.
Yes.
Now the argument of the prosecution is that he was not kidnapped. He was a fugitive who ran away from the law.
Okay, that's a good one. Continue.
Why he messed up is that if you are claiming Because the law says who has heart must prove. And extraordinary in the wisdom of the court and little wisdom I know, or the little law I know about that extraordinary rendition or any criminal matter. If you are claiming that, okay, this is a crime committed against you, you were adopted and forcibly taken away from where you were, back to Nigeria. Remember, he did not tender any evidence. He did not also provide any witness. He did not also enter any defense as to prove beyond reasonable doubt that extra rendition took place. And the court had no other option. And that is why I said that is the mistake he made by withdrawing his lawyers and also refusing, even when the courts, in their wisdom, in their magnanimity, begged him. They literally begged him, please enter your defense, open your defense. That would have been an opportunity for him and his lawyers to drop issues with the prosecution. He would have no evidence to show that such adoption or kidnapping took place. The court had to rely on the prosecution case. The prosecution filed up to tendered and adduced 34 evidence exhibits. These are overwhelming evidence that he could have challenged if he had a lawyer guiding. These are overwhelming evidence that he would have put. In fact, some of the witnesses he would have cross-examined them, like the DSS, who are claiming that he is a fugitive, that he was not adopted. He didn't put up any defense. And the position of law is very clear. If you don't put up any defense against, charges against you, the court will not have any other option than to rely on the prosecution's case. So what he did was to surrender his case or rest his case on the strength of the prosecution. What it simply means that everything the prosecution has said against him, the 7-count charges against him, is true. That's how this thing operates in law. If you don't say, if you don't challenge that these charges is not true, that means you are literally relying on whatever thing the prosecution is saying. And that was what he did. If he had a lawyer would have advised him. If he had somebody like Onyechi would have said no, except if he went against his advice. Kanu'S wouldn't have allowed him not to enter any defense. I understand the judgment. Yes, there was a time he filed a no case. He filed an application for court to give an order for no case submission. No case submission was overruled. The next thing he would have done, which is a very good option for him, was to just open his file the necessary documents, tender all the evidence, witnesses, to show that yes, he was captured, he was adopted in Kenya and forcibly taken back to Nigeria. But there was nothing to prove. And you expect the court to just start applauding you, clapping for you. He could not prove what he was claiming. He just said in his affidavit there was a extraordinary revision. It's not enough in a criminal case. In a criminal case, you don't only assert, you must prove what you have said. He who, whatever thing you claim in the criminal case, you must prove it beyond reasonable doubt. I heard that unfortunately he couldn't maximize that opportunity and the time given to him. And he cannot go back to the Court of Appeal and start to he was denied of his fair or denied fair hearing. Fair hearing does not mean that you'll be given the whole time to prove your case. He was given that up. In fact, if you read that judgment, you know that he was even buying time. He was trying to delay.
Yeah, because
most of the adjournment was at his own instance. You know, he will come back and tell you, oh, I didn't say that, that kind of a thing. Or allow me to file. At the end of the day, the court was still giving all those times. And the worst of it all is that the court even advised him at the point he dropped his lawyers. Please go and get a lawyer. Do you know that the court even provided a lawyer for him from the legal aid? There's an organization we call Legal Aid for him, because the court is bound to do so, because it's the duty of the court to provide a lawyer for a client who cannot afford a lawyer.
Yes.
Or who does not have any, who does not have any legal representation in the courts. So the court, in pursuance to his duty, even suggested, please, let us provide a lawyer for you. Vehemently refused. He vehemently refused. So he was the one that shot himself in the leg. If you come to court over a matter, or over any matter, there is need for a legal representation. Not even because, that you don't know anything, or you're not brilliant enough. It's because you are bringing in somebody who knows the law. Not only that he knows the law, you also understand how the court business operates. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is why you consult. That's why you consult lawyers. In all you are knowing, even if you're a professor and you have any cause of action in court, you need to consult a legal practitioner, because it's serious expertise that you don't know, that have a lot of technicalities and complexities you will not even understand. Even if I take 4 hours or 1 month to teach you, no matter how brilliant you are. So there are people who have paid their price, who knows law, who knows their onions well. And these are the people that he recruited. And unfortunately, decided to disengage them when he needed them most.
Let me ask you. Let me. You see, what's your take on this? So in the court, you will notice it was how will I put this now? Forgive me, but where people have taken the sides that in court it was the Yoruba against the Igbos.
Yes.
For example, the judge, the prosecutors were Yorubas, and the defendant lawyers were Igbos. What is your take on that?
Yes, I started by telling you that this case, will ordinarily swear emotions. People become emotional about it, because there's already Kanu'S is fighting. It's part of the things that he is fighting against: marginalization of the Igbos, apart from the insecurity. The attack of Fulani, he also talked about it. It's one of the things that he's fighting against. He has also said that Igbo deserve to be on since they are not treated equally like other tribes. So if you now see this type of development, apparently laymen, people who does not understand position of law, even me, I'm emotional about it. Be tempted to see it from that ethnic lens, from that tribal lens. Oh, that is a conspiracy against the Igbos. They have come again. They want to kill him because he's an Igbo. Me, I've even made a post on social media. Oh, why do they leave Boko Haram and leave the ice one, who are ravaging our country, to jerk? And yes, ordinarily you can feel so, natural. But in terms of law, the position of the courts is correct. But this is more of a political, in my own view, is more of a political than legal issue. because freedom fighters, the hero fighters, if you look at them, from Kenyatta, Mandela, many of them, even in UK, and there's so many places, freedom fighters always, most of them breaks the law. But because of how sensitive the issue always, that stigma, the issue, because it's highly sensitive, something that can lead to problem, crisis in the country. The states usually use diplomacy, dialogue, and negotiation to settle the issue. It's unfortunate we're in a country where they turn blind eye to that call. Because I joined the dark call and demand for this matter to be resolved, through dialogue. We still have that chances. It can still be resolved through dialogue. And that is the best way to resolve such issues. When you have separatist movements, you call everybody around table and ask him, what do you want? How can we help you? How can we resolve this?
But sorry.
This is what happens in a democracy.
Yeah, but they said, we heard that they've approached him many times to give him some largesse, big, money bags, and he refused. Then we heard again that, sorry?
For me, these things are speculations. They are founded. These are things that you can hear. Sorry to use that word. These are things that you can hear the beer parlor. They are not founded anywhere. The state has not released any official statements that they have approached Kanu.
No, not the state, though. No, I think I heard from Nnamdi Kanu's mouth. I think where he said he had a meeting with the southeastern governors or so, and they were begging him in the walkout.
Before he was arrested.
Before they arrested him.
Yes, before they arrested him. Yes, they made that move.
But he refused. He just wanted to pull out from Nigeria. But let me ask you this question though. So going forward, can you hear me? Oh, the network.
Yes, the network.
Okay, sorry. So going forward, yes. Going forward, how will I put it now? Okay, before going forward, what's your take on him being transferred to Sokoto?
To be honest with you, I don't understand why he was taken to Sokoto. But the states also have their own reasons, which they are not bound to explain to us. It could be, for security reasons.
Yes.
And for whatever reasons, I don't know. I don't want to believe that he was taken to Sokoto for him to be killed. No, I'm speculating. Because this is a high-profile individual. The state wouldn't want to go that route of killing him. Maybe it's for security reasons, but I don't want to speculate. For whatever reasons, they can decide to take him anyway.
Yes.
To any correctional center in the state, in the country. I don't want to also start speculating. The Fulani will come after him. I don't want to speculate that because I think they have also assigned a special security squad, to his. For whatever reason, let's focus on the appeal. I think his lawyers are taking steps to file appeal. Let him, in my own, if I'm to advise him, let him re-engage and plead with Kanu and Onyechi so that they will come back and see if he can have registration, particularly in the Court of Appeal. They have the chances to salvage registration in appeal. You also have the chances to salvage registration in the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land. So there are still chances for him, over for him. That the court has delivered a judgment convicting him of terrorism and affecting the public and all that. It's not the end of the world for him. Let him go back to wherever they have taken, wherever he is now in Sokoto. Let him reflect his mistakes and call back his lawyers so that they will file the necessary processes in the Court of Appeal and take up the matter. I think while they do that, they can also call for Igbo leaders. This is the time for Igbo leaders to come in to see if they can meet Tinubu and mount pressure on him to grant pardon. Or if he had already filed appeal, he can advise, the Tinubu can advise the AGF to discontinue the prosecution and set him free. He has such powers enshrined in the Constitution. He is the only one that can save Kanu at the moment. So if we can explore solutions at the same time, while they file appeal, they can split with mobilize Igbo leaders, particularly the governors. Because my suspicion is that the governors are the major problem of because most of them are seeing him as a threat to their political ambition.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yes. So, and I want to believe what people are saying, that they are the one advising Tinubu not to release him. But Tinubu should be wiser. He can also use this as a political leverage.
Yeah.
He can use it as a political bargain and mend whatever cracked relationship that is already in existence between him and Igbos. He can use it to, win their hearts and release Nnamdi. He is the only one that has such powers to grant him pardon, as the Constitution says, or to advise the Attorney General of the Federation to file a motion for discontinuance of the prosecution, and he'll be released.
Now, let me ask you. Now, if they go to appeals court and probably end up in Supreme Court, is it possible that his so-called the life sentence might be upgraded to death sentence?
Yes, if the prosecution decide to file a cross appeal, which is likely going to happen if they want to mess him up. Because I also saw him in court insulting the prosecution, that he will suffer, and so if they want to mess him up, they will file a cross appeal, asking the court to do the right thing. That this conviction, if you are convicted of terrorism, the penalty is death sentence. They can ask the court, and they will tell the court the reason why he should be sentenced to death instead of life imprisonment. There are so many reasons as lawyers you can give in the Court of Appeal. I pray they will not go that route. Leave him to just leave him and without filing any cross appeal. So that's let it just remain at life imprisonment.
Now, let me.
We still need.
Sorry, let me come back. Let me come now. Now they accuse him of jumping bail.
Yeah.
They accuse him of jumping bail. What's your take on, because was he jumping bail or he was running for his life? What's your opinion on that?
Depends on the circumstances of. I was not there.
Yeah.
He's saying that he was running for his life, and I saw the pictures and videos where we saw military officers in front of his premises.
Yes.
We also heard that they killed some of his people.
Yes.
before he had to be smuggled out from the house. So depends on what happened. In fact, the federal high court didn't even entertain much. They didn't look at what happened. He has, the onus is on him to prove that yes, he was chased out of his house.
Yes.
And he had the opportunity to do it, and he failed to do it. When he said that he will call about 28 witnesses or 23 witnesses, at the point he and retract steps and said, I was also shocked at the point when he said that he's no longer calling anybody, that there's no case against him, and the court should, grant him an order of no. So that kind of a thing is, for me, I don't know who advised him, but whoever that advised him to do well. In fact, he is the villain, the real villain in this case. Whoever that advised him withdraw his witnesses he wanted to call, and also to give lawyers.
With law, with law, one thing I believe, all these court case, you need a little bit of public relations. And I think Nnamdi Kanu and his team, they goofed this time. I know that Nnamdi, I said it, he's a bit arrogant and a stubborn person. Now, you see, because
most of them are like that. Any separatists are like that. They have that character. The real separatists, as leaders of separatist movements, they're always like that. They're very stubborn. They're always arrogant. So, but that arrogance need to be measured and also be controlled. You're not supposed to exhibit it when you are not supposed to. When you are not to exhibit it. You don't start insulting judges. You don't start insulting your other brothers, everybody that comes your way, so far they don't agree with you. And these are people who are also in a position to help you. You don't start insulting everybody that doesn't agree with you. That is his problem. And that is why some of these leaders are also feeling threatened.
Yes.
Some of our Igbo leaders are feeling threatened. Now this one that doesn't have any respect for us, if we see released, he will come after us. So sometimes if you're arrogant, you also apply wisdom and diplomacy. Particularly in this type of society you have found yourself. A society that you know that is already rigged against you. Don't rub the arrogance on everybody's faces and so you can easily get away with it. When you know that you can get away with it.
Now,
particularly in this type of society.
You see, with Nnamdi Kanu, as you said, the governors are, well, let me put it this way. Some of the higher and mighty are will be threatened when if they allow him come out, because their gravy train will be stopped. Again, the way Nnamdi Kanu behaves, I'm just looking at his outburst in court and everywhere, even his radio stations when he was talking. You could see that sometimes he has no respect for others. Then, what do you then think if he becomes the president of Biafra? Will he not be a dictator?
For me, I wouldn't want, if you ask me my opinion about Biafra, I don't think the Igbos need now.
No, we are talking about. I'm talking about.
We need to be treated equally.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is, you see, good example. Oh, should I go there? Okay, this woman in Tanzania, the first female president, who they thought would be doing them very well. Look at what she did now. A female who came in, and right now about thousands have been, taken out.
Yes.
Because of power. Now, that's why I'm saying that even because the way Nnamdi Kanu, his outburst on the radio stations and them all sorts does not paint a good picture about him. That's my opinion.
Yeah, right.
And people see it that way.
Right. That's their personal opinion. But I can tell you that millions of his followers and supporters doesn't see him in that way. They see him as a supreme leader fighting the just cause. They see him as the lead. In fact, he's the best they have ever had. Outside Ochukwu. So, and if you ask me, I will tell you that I will not be in a position to tell you, oh, he will be the best president if we eventually have Biafra. Because his followers, the majority that will decide if he will be their leader. His followers like the IPOB apologists are the ones that are fighting for this Biafra. Me, in my own opinion, I don't think that is what Igbo, even though that we are being marginalized, Igbos are facing existential threats, we are being treated as that is what we need now. But that is not the issue. But for me, let us find a way and talk to our leader. I was expecting by now maybe, there will be an outbreak, there will be protests everywhere in Igbo land because of this judgment. But everybody has
gone to bed.
Everybody seems to be carrying his has gone to bed. Unfortunately for him, because he needs this pressure on our leaders so that they will start making moves and start pleading on his behalf and said, okay, please, Tinubu, we really need to help us so that we can also help you. That this is the only way you can help us so that we'll be able to govern our states. And this condition is causing a lot of crisis. And if it is not allowed, they wouldn't even have any place to govern. That it is the right time for him to step in. That if he don't grant pardon to terrorists, armed robbers, and so many other convicted people in Nigeria, that Kanu will not be an exception. Kanu has not done something worse, compared to what all these other people here have done to.
But you know they
are the one in they are the one in position to match that pressure.
But again, they will see. I think if you ask me, a crime against one Nigeria is too severe, and I don't think, from my point of view, that Tinubu will easily pardon him. You know, there are people in Nigeria, and there are people in Nigeria.
Yes.
I don't know if you get me. There are people that will say,
I understand you.
Thank you. That will like short. They will be offended that Nnamdi Kanu was not executed. So
yes, that is one of his biggest. That is one of the biggest challenge Nnamdi Kanu. And all of these separatists. Funny enough, Nnamdi Kanu has demonstrated that he's a real separatist leader. Because if you look at their history, you find out that they are very stubborn. They don't even care about as he eats, he can even insult Alex if he approach him. He can even insult Tinubu. They are blinded of their cause to the extent that they don't care about how you feel. They are ready to die for what they are fighting for. And that is one problem. So I just pray that Tinubu will see releasing him as an opportunity for him to bargain with the Igbos.
Yes.
As an opportunity for him to pacify the Igbos. As an opportunity to win votes. If he's considering Igbos votes as something that will help him in 2027. If he's looking at it that way. If he looks at it that way for a man who is desperate to get back to power, I think he will. By now he will be talking about how am I going to be this.
Let me ask you two more questions. One is incitement. because there's people are saying, well, Nnamdi Carlo, yes, he incited, but it's like telling someone, go and steal, and then the person went and stole, and now blame the person that issued that instruction. That
Yes.
it is not fair because nobody saw him with gun or weapons, you know. But okay,
Mhm.
what's your take on that regarding the excitement issue?
Under the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act
Mm.
2013 and the Union Bill 2022, citing the public against the state, inciting people to destroy the state's properties, inciting people to kill security operatives, inciting people to cause crisis and chaos
Mm.
is a very serious crime and is punishable under Terrorism and Prevention Amendment Act. The law is clear on it.
Mm.
You don't necessarily need to go physically and execute or commit crime. Inciting the public against the state is a very big crime.
Mm.
It's a very big crime. So, and there are evidence adduced by the prosecution, videos where he was using his Biafra, radio Biafra, to tell his IPOB members to go after security operatives, kill them, burn their houses, burn their relatives, kill their relatives. These coded videos were used as in court. And unfortunately, you could not even challenge the veracity or the authenticity of those evidence, as overwhelming as they were, unfortunately. So the court had no other option than to rely on those evidence because it was overwhelming. It was clear that he was using Radio Biafra, which is not even registered. That one is a crime on its own.
Oh.
Operating a radio station that is not registered incites the public against.
Okay.
So the court's position is absolutely correct. On that ground alone, he was convicted, and I think I agree with. In fact, that was one of my grounds I have with Nnamdi Kanu. Why inciting people against one people too? Because at the point he was using their Eastern Security Network, ESN.
Yes.
He was using against his own people. He will incite them. They will go and enforce what they will call sit at home. In trying to enforce sit at home order by their supreme, they kill their people. That was how Akunyili, late Akunyili's Dora Akunyili, Professor.
Yes.
Dora Akunyili. That was how her husband was killed. And then said, man, this man is an Igbo man, a well-known Igbo man. We all know that didn't pose any threats to their movement. Only that he was walking about his business, and these guys called him and killed him. That is how so many Igbos lost their lives. You know, that is the area I don't agree with him. That you don't necessarily incite your own people against your own people because you're fighting a just cause, because you won't be a. For me, it doesn't make any sense. He went to the extreme. The court was right when they said, after looking at the evidence, recorded videos, which he even admitted that, yes, this was his Radio Biafra. This was his. The court was right in convicting him on that ground because the evidence was overwhelming. They tendered 34 evidence, principally. And these evidence, most of them were recorded videos that they obtained from his radio stations.
Wow. Yes. Let me, if you don't mind taking some questions, I have about 3 or 4. Is that okay by you?
No, we can go ahead.
Okay. So one says, well, he said the caller is naive. He is relying on doctored videos. I don't think those. Well, this case would have been answered if Nnamdi Kanu provided his defense, you know, or object on those videos. That those videos, it has been tampered, but he didn't say anything. We don't know what they presented. So, I think this one it is Nnamdi Kanu's fault. Then somebody says. The guest highlighted that the trial has political undertone. Can he draw more light as to the timing? One would have thought the sentencing of Nnamdi Kanu would impact on Tinubu's negativity. Did it?
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Is that all?
Yes, yes.
I'll take the last one.
Okay.
Yes. It's more of political than legal for me. This is a man who is fighting a just cause. He said that his people is being maltreated, marginalized. And everybody can see politically and otherwise, even from what is happening in Lagos, it is just very clear that Igbos are not treated equally like other tribes. And this is a man that said, okay, the Fulanis has rounded Nigeria. And they're attacking Nigerians that if we give them that time, they will take over the country. Is it not happening now? These are things that was fighting and which I consider a just cause. A country in a same society, they wouldn't have even waited for governors to step in. Point of arresting him, they would have called him to round table. Or even at most, as he has been convicted and sentenced, they would have quickly taken steps. Tinubu would have taken and say, okay, please, how can I help you? I'll grant you pardon, but let us have an understanding. Henceforth, please don't constitute a nuisance in this country again. I know you're fighting a just cause. I'm going to do this and do this to pacify the Igbos or to listen to their demands. These are the things I'm going to do for the Igbos. I'm a present for the whole tribes, not just for the Yorubas. We're expecting, or we are still expecting, this administration to take that full step to arrest the situation. Because the most important thing that we need in the Southeast for Southeast economic growth and stability is security. And this is not the right time for us to go back to the days of, you'll be walking on the road just because you decide to come on Monday, a day that has been set aside for sit at home, and you'll be killed or mined by this IPOB or AESN people. This is not the right time for us to give them that room to start, problem, the killings and attack again on our security operatives. This is not the right time. And the only thing that can stop it, the only thing that can douse the situation and pacify the Igbos, he can even use it as a political chip, as a bargaining chip, to grant pardon without necessarily waiting for him to file appeal. Is to quickly grant him pardon, but on the grounds that he will stop. He will stop all these violent activities, killing soldiers. He will disband his group, armed group, ESN, Eastern
Security Network. Yes.
He will also stop his people. He will also stop all these IPOB apologies from causing crisis. There won't be protests. He will write it down and it will be signed. These things can be done on a round table, through dialogue. If he if the president takes that step, it will have to, that's the situation, it will have to also bring in Igbo land, because we're already feeling that there is this sour wound, we are fresh, in our mind, that we are being subjected to all kinds of, we are being humiliated, we are being marginalized, we are being maltreated, we are not treated equally like us. This is the time for the government to prove that they are ready to treat Igbos equally like other tribes. They are ready to bring in Igbos. They are not that have anything against Igbos, particularly Tinubu. This is the right time, and the only way you can do it or demonstrate it is by granting Nnamdi Kanu pardon.
You see,
or if the matter, if they have already filed appeal, you can now advise the AGF to file for a motion for discontinuance of proceedings.
Okay, let me step in here. You see, with Tinubu, if I was Tinubu, I won't pardon Nnamdi Kanu now. Let me give you the reason why. Because if I do so, most likely I will lose the second term.
Why?
Because there are some people, that they've sworn that Nigeria will not divide, and pardoning Nnamdi Kanu will be a political mistake for Tinubu. Now, if
why?
Why? Because let's put it, the northern part of Nigeria, the election will swing to Atiku, because we all know that the northern part and there are some people. Let's put it this way. Let's balance it up. There are many people who they are not happy that Nnamdi Kanu was not taken out. Sorry. Was not happy that Nnamdi wasn't taken out.
Okay.
But if Tinubu, if you ask me, if Tinubu dares to pardon Nnamdi Kanu now, he will lose the election. But I think Tinubu has a place, has the opportunity to cement his name. And by doing so, it will have to be close to the election or after the election. That's if I'm a political, if I'm in the arena, that's what I would do.
Yes, that's their own calculation. I don't agree with you.
Okay.
Those people that you think that will be against Tinubu just for releasing Nnamdi Kanu, they don't even see Nnamdi Kanu as a threat for me. Except the biggest threats for me, people that sees it as the biggest threat are our brothers, our Igbo leaders, brothers.
Okay.
Because all the things we've been doing, the destruction, the killing.
Hold on there. Hold on, sir. Let me slip in one question there, please. Someone is asking, says, is the silence of the Southeast in the aftermath of Nnamdi Kanu's sentencing a collective assessment from the Igbos about the Biafra agitation?
I don't believe that is a collective. You call it a collective assessment. No, it is not. Many Igbos are not happy about it. And I can tell you that most of the leaders are not also quiet and silent.
Okay.
The deputy speaker has spoken up. Alex Oti has spoken up. They have expressed their views. And also in that their view, they have also stated clear that making Igbos to see that Nnamdi Kanu is giving a soft landing. And what they think is to see if they can convince the presidency to grant Nnamdi Kanu pardon. I don't think silent over it. If you are what is going on like, the man they call chief priest, chief priest, you saw his hand bust, the post that he made, and he also shot where the deputy speaker called it. And when the deputy speaker, after speaking to the deputy, And he got back, he sent also a message telling us how the deputy speaker has assured him that they are doing something about Nnamdi Kanu's release. I think they are doing something seriously now in the background, even though that I see them as people who still consider Nnamdi Kanu as a threat. Not doing anything is also a threat to the nation because a lot of them, a lot of the IPOB opponents are also going to work against them during the election if they don't take any step to see that Nnamdi Kanu is released or granted pardon. So I want to believe that they are doing something about it, and even the Misu, the wife of their late Ojukwu, has also released a statement. So there are moves, silent moves, being made to see if he can be granted pardon or stop the continuance of this trial.
Okay. Sorry, just give me 2 minutes. Someone says all you guys are biased. Nobody's talking about how he was renditioned. The senior barrister has made that has spoken about that. So if you can go through the video, and you will get his position. It won't be fair to repeat ourselves again. My apologies. So the barrister sacrificed his time because he had a family issue, but he had to, squeeze in some time to come in here. It would be unfair for him to, sorry, for us to delay him any further. So, sir, can you just give us a summary and introduce yourself properly and just 2 minutes?
Okay. Viewers, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my view, professional view, on this Kanu'S issue. Sensitive as it is, some of us are also not happy. But however it is, we are looking forward to seeing Nnamdi Kanu government holding the issue politically, so that all parties, it will douse the tension we already have in the southeast and even in the country at large. My name is Barrister Nwobia. By God's grace, by 28th of this November, I'm going to be at bar. I'm a legal practitioner based in Port Harcourt. My area of special institution is real estate. I manage properties, plants. We also develop, properties for our clients. We are into litigation, which everybody knows that is the core area of a lawyer. Litigation means going to court and presenting our client, putting all our best, to make sure that we resolve legal matters in court. So we are into properties, we also do litigation. And we're also into cooperating, like this taxation that is involved now. We don't know, some of us don't know what to do, whether they are going to be taxed from January or that. We also task consultants. We are applying consultants on how we can go about navigate the issue of the introduction of tax. So that is what we do here in Portland. With my firm. By God's grace, I'm the managing one brave way attorneys.
Okay.
And we have been in this business for close to 20 years now. 28th of this month, we're going to make it 20 years.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you very much for coming, and you guys that's what you guys do. So I want to bring someone to break this Nnamdi Kanu's thing up. We are not biased. I'm not biased. I'm just stating the facts from what we see. I am not getting anything from Nnamdi Kanu but we're just stating the facts, and well, let's see how it goes. If Barrister, hope if the appeals, if the answer comes out, we'll be in touch, and probably you'll come and dissect it for us if you don't mind.
Of course, I'm always available. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've had now if you don't you see the thing here is everyone has got its own views. Everyone has got its own views. Unfortunately, we all know that Nigeria, is sometimes a lawless country. We have written laws, but we don't apply it. So, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. If you listen to my video yesterday, if you watched my video yesterday, when it was mentioned that Nnamdi Kanu has been sent to Sokoto, yeah, we spoke a little bit about it. But let's see how it goes. May what happened to Abiola not happen to Nnamdi Kanu. That's all I will say. So see you all soon. Thank you for those that have watched us. Please, before you leave, we need an offering. Just give us a thumbs up. That's all we need. It will take you just 1 second, less than 1 second. Just click on that thumbs up. We will not get your details, but the thing at the end of the day, just for other people to watch that video, in the so please do us a favor. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will try and come again. Or see you soon. Peace. Okay.